that South Carolina is the best team in the country and Aaliyah Boston's the best team and best post player not only in the country this year but for the last several years, all year long. So I'm just going to start flying it a little higher after seeing them live and in person. As good as Aaliyah Boston is and played, that team's so much more than that. I thought Henderson just controlled them when they needed it. I think defensively they've gotten even harder to score on, nearly impossible to score on. Saxton, Cook, and their depth. When you think you got just a chance, maybe their depth just annihilates you. I thought I was really proud of our kids coming out of that, going into the 3-minute, third quarter media timeout. I got on them as hard as I've got on them all year long because I did not like what it looked like out there for that little spurt. I don't think any of them did. And I told them we had a great crowd there today on a snowy day, and they did not come to see that. And man, did they respond. Should have used that one a little bit earlier. Probably should have used that one at halftime. But it gives me a lot of hope for what we've got. But again, I think South Carolina, the job that Dawn and her staff do, doesn't get the credit, even though they are ranked number one. I don't think they get talked about enough for how much they've been dominating this year. And for our effort, I think it's very encouraging for the rest of the way out.
Paul?
Michaela mentioned, and I asked about, I felt like they finally got more aggressive late.
We did.
Why did it take so long, I guess, is the question.
Because they are the number one team. And we heard it, we know it, and probably, they're up X number of points when they get off the bus right now. We've got to learn to not let that happen. And we got punched. I mean, they punched us right there. That run they went on was there 2 15-0 runs? They went on one, then we went on one?
Yes.
That's just nuts. I think that we got passive. We got tentative. We weren't aggressively attacking the basket because we got a shot block. Nobody likes to get their shot blocked. I don't like to get my shot blocked, and I think they did that. And it caused us to slow down a little bit. But I was glad that we came back. But yeah, she was right. I think it was just first time for a lot of our kids to see the number one team in the country. I told them in the pregame, there's a lot of kids across the country that play their whole career and never play against the number one team. And it's different. There's a big difference between 1 and 10 and 1 and 14 or wherever. There's 1 is 1. So first chance for some of us, our kids, to see it live and in person, and I know it'll be something that helps us down the line. But I look down and see Jersey goes plus 13 for us. She's not going to be happy with how she shot the ball, but how she impacted the game. Having to guard a kid who, like I said, is the best post player to come out of college basketball in quite a while. Dawn said that yesterday. She said that with Asia Wilson, knowing Asia Wilson follows her on Twitter. Because she said that. She goes, I know Asia's going to be mad at me, but that's for Boston to do what she did. She was already good. Then she goes and spends the summer with Tim Duncan and she increases her vertical jump by 7 inches. Most kids just don't do that when you're already good. So I hope we can use them as a little bit of a blueprint, because I think in a couple of years we're going to have the depth and a talented team like they have, and I hope we can draw back on it and remember that game in the future, but also remember it late in the year in case we get a chance to see these guys in the tournament.
I'll also ask, Aaliyah Boston, only 4 points in the second half. Can you just talk about the job you were able to do? I mean, because I think you frustrated her a little.
Yeah, I thought, it's a team defense, and we worked really hard. Mariam Dowda was able to simulate her to some degree. And our men's practice players and Saylor coming in there, our white squad has gotten us a lot better. And I thought we helped. I thought we had good angles. I thought we were aggressively going in there when the ball was thrown in there because you knew it was coming in there. But you do all that and you look up and it's 19 and 13. But that's what you have to do to keep it from being 25 and 25. So, but I thought they hit some clutch shots too when she'd kick it out. And I do think our kids will look back at the film and want to have a couple of those open shots back.
Christina?
Coach, you talked a little bit about your third quarter kind of speech, and I just wondered what it was in the third quarter that you specifically kind of wanted to hone in on.
Just to play harder, because we had played hard, and then in that little 3-minute stretch, we didn't, and we walked to the timeout. That's when I jumped their butt. They walked to the timeout, and I met them out there. I said, "What is this? You think this game is over?" And they responded. I didn't make a sub. Normally, I would have probably subbed and gotten them out, but I gave them a chance to change. That's what we talk about, changing personnel. Sometimes that doesn't mean making a substitution. It means change yourself. And they did it. And I played that line. They were dead. they were dead. I took that time out I went to the review to get us a longer time out than the media would have been, because I knew we were dead on our feet. I didn't say anything other than, that doesn't look like us. And then they said to each other, they talked, we got out of the huddle, we didn't talk much. This group doesn't need a lot of that from us. They motivate themselves quite a bit. They let us coach them. We don't have to do a whole lot of yelling and screaming and motivating and trying to inspire them. They did that on their own. They knew. They had that look like they knew they had done something wrong, like Bowen did when he got in the tub the other day with his clothes on. I don't know if y'all follow JC on social media, but he got in the tub with his clothes on, and that's how our kids, they know. And they hold themselves to such a higher standard even than we do. So, like I said, I'm encouraged. I'm really disappointed because I think we missed an opportunity to do something that's uber rare to be the number one team. But that spontaneous hog call right there in that fourth quarter, man, that gave me memories of men's games in here when I was in college. It was loud and it was important. So there's lots of positives. We can't, dwell on it very long, because we need to regroup and go down and take this type of effort to Alabama on Thursday.
Coach, like you mentioned, being down 18 and then being able to come back and make it a 4-point game. What do you think the team learned about themselves, and what did you learn about the team?
That they have it in them. I think they learned that about themselves, that they should have that confidence that we have in them. Coach Todd said that to them, said, we have got confidence in every one of you to shoot these shots, and you guys are hesitating. We've got you in there to shoot, and then that got them going. So hopefully they learned that we won't have them out there if we don't have confidence in them. So hopefully they learned that. I learned that for certain, if we can stick together and hang together for these last, how many games we have left? 13? Is that right? What's our record? 1 and 3? So that's 13. We're supposed to play 16. If we can play that hard for 13 more games, then I think we've got a chance to be in the NCAA tournament. I really do. It's going to be hard in our league because our league is really good. But I think we've battled. We've done all the things we need to do to play as many games as we can. So I think I learned that we've got the team that can do that.
Russell?
19-10 on the turnovers, but it seemed like there was some slippery balls, just loose balls, just missed. How much is that their defense?
A lot, and it's just a compounding effect. I think we had 4 or 5 late. It's that compounding effect. It's very physical. They guard you on every cut. They contest every dribble. They contest every shot. And then, of course, rebounding against them is just, it is an absolute struggle. So I think that compounds into where in the third and the fourth quarter we turned it over a few more times than we probably would have. But to end up with just 10 and playing against that type of physicality, we're not the most physical team yet. We're going to be there, and we're getting there. But I think we continue to kind of hang around and dish it out a little bit. Now, nose to nose with Tennessee and South Carolina, who I think have kind of separated themselves in our league. We've had a lead against South Carolina, our lead against Tennessee in the second half, and we've got it to 4 against South Carolina. There's just a bunch of stuff that we can talk about. We just got to find a way to stick together, because it's hard to lose in 2022. It's hard because people want to start nitpicking, and they do. They hear a lot of people talking to them, but as long as they stick together, I think we've got a chance to continue to compete in this league.
Paul, last one.
I was gonna ask, how big was that play by Breedfield?
Massive.
It's the backbreaker, wasn't it?
Backbreaker. Yeah, and that's what she does. That's why she plays 25 minutes a night and shoots it 3 times. Dawn's got a lot of confidence in her. That kid plays every possession like it means something. And she doesn't care about the stat sheet. This is McDonald's All-American too. She wants to win. And you can tell she wants to win. But that was those clutch plays that I said there's so much more than just Boston and Henderson. And it was, I know as soon as I saw it, I was kind of like, boom, and it kind of zapped the energy from the gym too. And at that point in time, we're out of timeouts, fighting to get back in it so hard. But, I'll look now, I'll see 25-25 in the second half. I'll look down, I'll see 1 or 2 possessions in the second and the third, or the first and the second that could have made it different. I'll do that today, and then we'll move on tomorrow. Start getting ready for Alabama.
All right, that's a wrap. Thanks, everybody.
Yep.